As you can see, Spurs contact Everton over Richarlison. So there's been. I'm going to bring up some of the tweets that we've had.
I'll read that. I've got them right here, so I'll do them. So the tweets we have got from the Bubble, which is an Everton source. Tottenham have contacted Everton over Richarlison now. Everton wants £60 million, and that is what they consider an exceptional offer. Everton are expecting an offer in the coming days.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas Moura could be set to join Everton if Richarlison moves the other way. Tottenham have also gotten nowhere near Everton's valuation, and that is from both those last two are from Matt Law.
Mm-hmm.
David Ornstein has said Tottenham's first choice target is Richarlison.
Interesting.
And then Sky Sports Lyle has said Chelsea are considering rivaling THFC for Everton forward. And then finally, we got two from Romano.
Oh, yeah.
And those two are Tottenham have already had direct talks with Richarlison's new agent, or agents, should I say. And then Tottenham have a good relationship after the Dele Alli deal in January.
Yes.
So that is where we are with Richarlison, where it's kind of, we're making a bid, he's our first, we're nowhere near, Lucas may be going, but we are talking to the agents.
And Everton like us for some reason.
Yes.
I don't understand that last one. I mean, it's like we sold them a player that hasn't done anything for them. So why are they so happy?
That I don't know, but like I said, I have a brand new respect for Frank Lampard for just buying our players. It's a strange one, isn't it?
I think so. I'll tell you what, Bob is going to be happy, Bob Spur TV, because he's been banging the Richarlison drum for weeks now. But there's a lot of noise going around all this, and we've not really operated that way since this transfer window began. It's not been the targets that have sort of been in the news and all the noise has been about that we've got. You know, you said it.
So no, someone said it to me. So I hit the roof when I saw Sky Sports released that Chelsea have now entered the fray, and I thought, oh, here we go again, Diaz all over again. But then I was speaking to one of my mates who was like, do you know what? And he's correct. He said, if you look at it, we didn't go for Perisic, or we didn't know about Perisic until it was practically wrapped up. Everyone thought it was Sam Johnston when it was Fraser Foster. And with Basuma, we were linked with every other midfielder apart from him. So who knows? This could be the biggest of smokescreens if it's to revert to type this summer. But this is dragging out again, isn't it?
Again, yeah. It's the fact that, I mean, pre-season starts Monday, is it? Yeah, yes. Monday, with some of the injured players already back, which we'll come to later. And yet, after that initial flurry, things seem to have died down a little bit, and that's not necessarily cause for concern per se, but it's worrying.
Yeah, it is.
I just said it's not a cause for concern, and then said it's worrying. So
there you go. We're just talking about blue for real.
Yeah, exactly. It is a cause for concern for me anyway, not for anyone else.
But how do you stand on the how are you on Richarlison?
I think he would fit what I consider to be the sort of necessary thing that we need in terms of what we need up front. I've been saying that when you play a 3-4-3, you know, when you've got three positions that need filling, you need five to cover for injury and to rotate. And the best type of player would be one that is comfortable playing anywhere across that front three. Richarlison does fit that bill. I mean, he's not an out-and-out striker, but he can play in the striker position. You know, and that can give options as well for rotating. You could drop Kane deep, for instance. He can go up front. You know, that's a possibility. He's seemingly comfortable on the left or the right, so it fits. It works. For me, I don't have any one player that I think it has to be that player, and Richarlison is the same. But yeah, you know, if we can get him, I think he'd be useful.
Yeah, I sitting next to Simeon, who's been sitting there. Obviously, he brainwashed me. Bob Spur has as well. I wouldn't mind him coming in. We just need to see some movement. Hopefully it will happen. But I will say before we go further, we've had a super chat from a good friend of ours, Mr. Ryan Isaacs Kennard.
What's up, Ryan?
Who has just had a long weekend in Brighton celebrating his birthday.
Dirty.
And he has said, good morning. Sadly, couldn't get hold of Lamptey when I was in Brighton. What a weekend. Don't want to lose Mora, would rather give them weeks. So first of all, I've seen people in the comments before. There is no update on Jed Spence today. There is no update.
What?
I know. Take a step back. So there's no right back talk whatsoever from what I remember we're going through. That's gone dead. So there's no Lamptey talk. But he's mentioned Mora. Wiggs, I think, is a done deal. I'm not going to say what, but we'll see. I think it may be a done deal. Mora surprises me because I heard with Mora in this deal, or I heard that Mora just wanted to see out his contract and then go back to Sao Paulo and end his career. So this is a strange one for me.
Yeah, I don't give much credence to the Mora to Everton talk. You know, he's never come across as the player that is sort of agitating for first team football all the time. That might not be the case. It might be that we just don't see it and that he does agitate for it. And that, if he goes to Everton, he's more likely to get more first-team football than he will at Spurs. But the noises that we've heard and the sort of talk that we've heard is, as you say, he's happy at Spurs. He loves the club. He's happy to stay here for the rest of his contract and then move back home to Sao Paulo where, to be fair, he's treated not as a god, because Neymar has that thing, but he's sort of like a demigod to Sao Paulo fans. So I think they'd love to see him back, and he'd love to go back and retire there as a Brazilian. So I don't see Mora to Everton. I don't know where that comes from, to be honest.
Yeah, and from what I heard, like the Højbjerg Walker Peters deal, this Wiggs is going to be a separate transaction.
Yeah,
it's not going to be done as a. So I can't see Mora bringing into it. And I've loved Mora, or when I say I love him. I've always wanted more from him, and I thought last season he started off really, really well, and then obviously it faded off. But he's one of those players that are good to have around, isn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. He brings energy, he brings passion, he brings a love for the club to the dressing room. You know, his sort of COYS thing is pretty infectious, and you can see that. You can see the affection he has for the club. There's nothing wrong with that. He's not. Look, we're not saying he's like a world beater or anything like that, but I'm not going to lose a huge amount of sleep if he doesn't go, as long as we get some upgrades for those forward positions. If it's a case of the forward sort of five, which at the moment is Bergwijn, Mora, Kane, Son and Kulusevski, if that stays the same, that's a failure this season, this transfer window, in my opinion. But if it's a case of, you know, we get, say, Richarlison and let's say Rafinha, you know, and then we've also got Mora sort of in the squad too, I'm not gonna complain about that.
Okay, I've just had a slight update from it.
Oh yeah,
it's not a huge, but apparently there's a clause with Everton that Watford get 10% of any deal. That is over 40 million. So that could be a
for Richarlison.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So that could be another implication.
Right.
Or another.
That might push the price up. Because,
exactly.
Yeah,
because if it goes over 40, we all know it's going to be over 40. 10% is going straight into Watford skyrocket.
Yeah.
Everton sell it and Watford get the sell on.
Because he played for Watford.
We have a
first.
Watford fan in the back end who's getting happy there. No, Watford get it. Watford get it if we buy over 40 million. So that could have a bit of a snag to it, couldn't it? And
well, that's it. I mean, if Everton have got, say, a target that they want to purchase with the Richarlison money, then they're going to have to make sure that, you know, they raise enough. Although it doesn't work that way, as I've said countless times on the internet. You know, if their thinking is like, we want to structure this so we can then purchase who we want to purchase with the money that we're going to be getting from Spurs, then they're going to have to factor in that 10% that they've got to then pass back to Watford. So I can see it. For me, I don't mind the price tag. I don't have an issue with it. Listen, if it's 60 million, if it's 70 million, if it's 90 million, if it's 400 million, you know, the point of it is that ultimately the price is set by the seller. Everton say this is how much we want. Spurs decide that it's most important to get that player in. That's the price you have to pay.
Yeah, we've got to look at it as well. Richarlison said he's not going to come out and say, I want to move.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to do it to the Everton fans.
Of course.
But Do you reckon he could do if this drags on?
I don't think so. A player takes a big risk when they say something like that, because you're nailing your colours to the mast. You know, it's a similar shades of the Bastoni deal, where his agent has turned around and saying he's staying at Inter.
Yep.
But you know, we all know that there's sort of games being played behind the scenes, and he's doing it for political reasons. Richarlison has got no stake in that particular game to turn around and say no, I don't want to ask for a move, and then later asks for a move. You know, we've seen that blow up in players' faces, so I don't see it happening. It will be a case of Spurs and Everton will do the negotiations. If they're successful, he will move. If not, he'll either move somewhere else or not move at all.